Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of my favourite people and some of Las Vegas's biggest stars. And we got one for you today. Jennifer Romas, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
You are delicious, can I say this? And you've got a great show here at the Westgate. It must be fabulous to be you.
It's I feel pretty blessed to be me, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's great. This is an incredible journey.
What's more important about you, being hot or being smart? Because you're the lady behind this production, SEXXY, here at Westgate, and you're the person who makes this thing get on stage every night. You're the brains behind the production, the creative, all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. What's more important?
I think being smart and sexy. The two got to go hand in hand.
This is what we call the mother load, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I love it. No, to be honest, that's again why the brand is called and the show is called SEXXY. SEXXY is about being inspiring, being empowering, being confident, being passionate, and all of those things take brains too. So it's kind of a package deal, and again because. Like you said, I wear so many different hats with the show. The business end, to be honest with you, is a lot more important than the show end. I have come to find out in the last couple of years.
And surviving in this town is almost impossible. Shows come and go, and yours is still here. How have you managed it?
A lot of hard work, no sleep, shoveling shit day after day. No, just kidding. No, again, I have to say I've been very, very blessed. Again, just the support of the community and my friends and the hotel and my family and, of course, all the amazing people on my team and that I share the stage with each and every single night. But first and foremost, honestly, I have to go back to the support of our community and our fellow entertainers. When the show opened, no one knew who I was or what SEXXY was or anything like that, and everyone really came full circle, and they continue to support us, and they continue to be here, and from there, word has spread, word has traveled, and now we've been here 4.5 years, and now we've got repeat customers and people from all over the world that are coming, so.
And the word sexy is so interesting because one man's sexy is different to another man's sexy. Exactly. And that's what you embody in this show. You give different stuff for different people. Exactly. And you kind of pinned the tail on the donkey, if you want me to use that phrase. When
I was creating the show, trying to figure out what it was, I chose the name SEXXY overnight, but one, because I really didn't know what the show was going to be. I didn't want to label it as a burlesque show because I'm not a burlesque artist. I didn't want to label it as a striptease show. So I kind of thought sexy embodied anything. And again, as a group of dancers and female dancers, and it being a topless show, of course, we have to all fit together and work together. Everyone has to have great bodies, and all of those things, of course, is a given. But aside from that, like you said, each one of the girls are very different. Our bodies are different. Our shapes are different. We are not all the same size. We are not all the same height and weight and things like that. And again, looking good together, but also looking good individually, I think is really, really great. And that is sexy to men and women.
And that's what's interesting. I brought 2 girlfriends here with me last time I came to see you, and to convince them to come too. What happens in Vegas
stays in Vegas.
Ends up on Facebook. And what happened was they said, no, we don't want to go to a sexy show. We're not interested, because they thought it was going to be creepy. But it's not. You have to understand what a Vegas show is and a showgirl is. It's not a seedy thing in Amsterdam. It's very different.
Yes. It is very different, and I think too the mentality and people are becoming much more educated as well with what topless shows or topless reviews are. We've got Cirque du Soleil performers that are now in my show, and we have again, you say the word pole and people think strip club, but we have pole artists and a pole act and aerial acts, and it's definitely We're pulling our own, man. No, and it's classy, and it's sexy, and it's sassy, and all of those elements kind of come full circle. Hot and spicy and sexy. I'm one more. No, just kidding.
And for the people, the Me Too types who say, oh, this is outrageous and demeaning, what they have to remember is you are a lady running the show who features in the show. Exactly. It's driven by women. I mean, it's your choice. Nobody's forcing you to be here. So it totally negates that argument, doesn't it?
No, it definitely does. And again, 2019, women are rocking, and we are strong, and we are empowering, and we are doing things that people never thought possible years ago. My family is a part of the show. My mother is here each and every single night, and she's a part of our team and things. And some of my girls have babies in the show. They've had babies and come back and forth. And again, it's just, I think it's breaking down those barriers, breaking down those walls of what everyone thinks is right or thinks you should do, or again, the stereotypes of, women in business and women in sex roles or sexy roles, shall you say. So yeah, it's different. I have to kind of chuckle because it is much harder to do business in the field that I am in nightly during the day. People come and see me on stage, topless, being sexy, all of those things. And then when I walk into a business meeting the next day in a suit, sexy but classy, in a suit with a briefcase ready to do business, there's some more walls and barriers that need to be broken down because, again, like you kind of went back to the whole women and brains and sex and brains and all of those things. And, we've got both.
And indeed you have. And one of the things I said in my review of this show the last time I saw it is you are not the youngest woman in this show by a mile, but you are the sexiest. There's a thing you do with the bath. Can you be trained how to be sexy, or is this just something you are?
To be honest, I think there's a certain passion and there's a certain feeling that some people have and some people don't have. With that being said, a lot of my girls in my show have never done topless or sexy shows before. I saw something in them that I thought was amazing and that I could pull from them, and we worked on those things. Being naked on stage is a scary thing. Being you're not only revealing your talents and your heart and your soul and your passion because we're dancing, we're also revealing our bodies, and people are very critical, and people like to sometimes not be always amazingly nice and everything. So we're putting ourselves on the line out there, and again, I think that's kind of very empowering as well too. But to be able to do that, we also have to believe that. Not to have an ego, not to be catty, none of those things, but you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe that you are great and you are amazing, and that you're going to send out these crazy, passionate, awesome vibes to the people. Otherwise, they won't believe it.
Of course, this is so intimate, this showroom. You can see the reaction of every single person in front of you. I mean, in one way, it's terrifying. Is it also electrifying when you see a man or a woman or a couple go, oh my God, this is just hot?
Yeah, it is crazy. And again, I think people are really... like you said, people have this mentality when they come to a topless show or a burlesque show, and our show is really fun. Our show is really enjoyable, and women and men alike enjoy it. And again, the women find us sometimes more sexy than the men do. No, I'm just saying because they know, the woman's body is a beautiful thing, and it should be admired, and it should be taken care of, and it should be put on a pedestal. So the fact that, and again, because we are fit and because we are trained and all of those amazing things, that's very attractive to another woman. And yeah, it is kind of scary though when you look out there. And again, our showroom is so intimate and the showroom is so great because everything's kind of 3D. The levels of our stage and the levels of the seat, everywhere that you sit in the showroom, it's a completely different show. So I always tell people, come back again, come see us again, sit somewhere else, because one, we might have some rotating dancers and things like that, but two, it really is a different show depending on where you're sitting inside this theater. It's amazing.
Why you sat here today with your own show, starring in your own show, creating your own show? Because everybody wants to do this who's in your field, but not many survive or succeed.
Oh, gosh. I will be honest, there are days where I just, I get stressed out and I don't want to do it anymore. There's some overwhelming moments and overwhelming days. I'm always making decisions. I'm always having to schedule things. I'm always having to be on top of things. I'm always having to organize things. I'm always, and that's from, accounting to the behind the scenes show things, to costumes, to lawyers, to contracts, to all of that. And then trying to find the time to get myself ready and get myself into a mode where I can actually perform and things like that it's very difficult. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. I'm kind of my own manager as well as managing the rest of my team and looking out for their best interests. And being a performer, a background as a performer, obviously, I know what it's like to be on the other side. And I try to take that into consideration every single day. I make mistakes. I know I am not perfect, but I always try to be fair. I always try to take care of my team and my people. But being on the other side, I also now understand why things happen, or why things happened to me when I was, a dancer in a show and things like that. And there are reasons behind things, and I try to take all of that into consideration and just kind of do the best I can every day.
So what you're telling me is the 90 minutes on stage is the easiest part of your day?
Besides the physicality of it, I walk around with ice packs throughout the day. But no, to be honest, yeah, I remember, and I'll actually say Anthony Cools. There's a lot of people that I look up to in this city who have had lasting shows, and I reached out when the show first opened to some of these people for some advice. And he was one person. He said to me, and not literally, but kind of literally, he's like, because I was worried about the show and redoing this and redoing that, and he's like Jen, he's like, if you don't have butts and seats, you don't have a show.
Right.
And he's like, if your show is amazing, he said it was, but he said, if your show is amazing, he goes, live with that for a minute. Live with that and work on getting butts in the seats, people in the doors. He said, if your show sucks and people come and see it, well, then they won't come back. But if your show is amazing and people come and see it, he said, it will grow. People will come and goes, but you have to get butts in seats. And we've seen that time and time again here in Las Vegas. There's amazing shows that have, millions of dollars put into them, and they last 30 days. And it's not because necessarily the show is bad. It's because it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Talking of it's not easy, very finally, how easy is it looking like Jennifer Romas? I mean, this is a piece of work. You're a piece of art. I mean, you've got to look like this. We can't have a 300-pound girl really hosting SEXXY. It's not going to work. Is it a full-time job looking like you?
I just want to eat pizza. Just kidding. No.
How many inches?
Wow. For me, yes, it is a full-time job. I am a bigger boned girl. I never, to be honest, yes.
Whoa.
No, in the dance world, to be honest, really, I never fit into the mold of a lot of shows growing up and things like that, because I was different. My body was different. I was very muscular and things like that. And yes, I struggle. I struggle every day. One, with injuries. Two, with weight. I am fabulously in my 40s. Yes, world, you will know that now. And things are not as easy as they used to be, and dealing with some health issues as well as things, autoimmune issues and things like that. There's a lot to take care of. There's a lot to try to get through on a personal level as well too. So, but yeah, I've got to do the gym. I eat very, very healthy. I eat, organic, gluten-free, all of those things. I don't drink that often, although I'd really love a cocktail after this. Speaking of that, we also have some champagne glasses and coffee mugs and shot glasses coming out. No, but no, it is a full-time job. It's a full-time job for any athlete, to be honest. And like you said, the 5-minute race or the hour show, that really is the easiest part. It's the hours, the weeks, the months, the days, the blood, sweat, and tears leading up to that. That's it.
I think the more talented you are, the more disciplined you have to be, and you're so talented and gifted, and this show is quite lovely. It's here at the Westgate. It's called SEXXY, starring Jen. Thank you so much for your time, and keep on keeping on.
Thank you. Love you. Thank you.